Okay, welcome to the first episode of the Pondcast. Not podcast, because, we're not about that life. But yeah, today we're just going to talk about the Pokemon Presents that happened on Wednesday. And, just dig through the details, share our thoughts, answer any questions you guys might have. There are people listening to this as we record it. So yeah, let's get into it. I thought a good way to introduce ourselves would be to share our earliest memories of the Pokemon franchise, and then what made us fall in love with the franchise as a whole. So I think I'll start off. I'll say my earliest memories were playing. What was it? Oh, it was Pokemon Gold on my brother's Game Boy. I wasn't really into it. I think it was just the style of it. And then when Emerald came out, I got a Game Boy and Pokemon Emerald. And that's where I really fell in love with it. And, I really enjoyed Emerald for what it was. And from then I was hooked. So that's my intro. You guys have the floor. Whoever wants to go next.
Ooh, me. I'll go next. What's up, everybody? Every fellow listeners, every Pokemon fan out there. It's your boy, the Edge Master with their boy Swag, gamimg, Glen. Anyways, gotta put that little shout out over there for myself, But in any case, first experience with Pokemon would definitely have to be at like my cousin's house. He was having a party, and then there's like these other guests that were there that I didn't know because they're like family friends kind of thing. He was playing on his I think it was the original Game Boy, and then he was at from what I know now, he was at the Elite Four, and he was battling them, and I was looking over his shoulder. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. What's going on here, And like he asked me if I wanted to try it out, and I had no idea what I was doing, obviously, but I was like just so intrigued with the game. I was like, oh man, I gotta play this game again. Funnily enough, when I did finally get like my first Game Boy, the first Pokemon game I actually like played was the Pokemon trading card game. So it was a little bit different, but I still got hooked onto that as well. So even starting from like the card games, even if it's on like a digital format, that was still that's just what started like my whole Pokemon thing for me. And then started watching it on TV and everything, and from there I've just been a fan ever since and until currently.
Go ahead, Jari.
I'm Jari. I started playing when I was like 6. Diamond and Pearl, obviously. Nothing much. I don't remember that much actually.
Oh, so this new game, what is it? The re-release is going to be an interesting one for you.
Actually, it is. Yeah.
For
I'm actually hyped for it. Really excited.
I'm Draconis, and let's see. Oof. My first experience was actually Red. I was in high school and picking up my issue of Nintendo Power and flipping through the magazine and seeing this RPG, because I was really big into RPGs then. It's like, oh yeah, there's 150 different characters to collect. And I'm like, wait, what? And my little brother ends up getting blue, and he comes up to me one night and he's like, hey, can you beat this? I can't. I don't know how. He got to the first gym, and so I started playing, and I'm like, all right, this game is too nuts. The next day I went out and I bought my own copy of Red, and been hooked ever since.
That's awesome.
What a story, man.
My story is so small. I barely remember.
That's okay. Big or small. I mean, we're all here for the same reason. We love Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. So now that we got the cringy intro out the way, I think, what did you guys think of the BDSP trailer? Like, especially compared to the first one that we saw.
were really good. The graphics improved a lot. I'm kind of hyped for it now.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. I think I was definitely pretty hyped for it as well.
Yeah,
Especially the Grand Underground.
I mean, for me,
Oh, yeah.
I was planning on skipping this one, and because I've already played it, I've got pretty much everything I can get out of that game. But
Mhm.
with seeing the little touches that they've done to really incorporate not just what Diamond and Pearl was, but to incorporate all the little things that we've gotten throughout the years between Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8, seeing all of that incorporated into this re-release got me so hyped that even I had to check myself going, do I really want to skip this game? Do I really, really want to skip this game?
Hmm.
I mean, in that same breath, I think that's what a lot of people are thinking now, because it's undeniable that the reception to the first trailer wasn't actually too great, and a lot of people actually put off the franchise as a whole. Well, so they say. But I think with this later trailer, it's definitely going to bring a lot more people back in, and certain features like, for example, the contest feature looks more on par what it would in the anime, so you get that sort of anime-ish feeling, if you get what I mean.
I
And
get what
also,
you mean, yeah.
and like, yeah, and also the improvements to the underground, like those now sort of mini wild area things.
Yeah, I thought that was a very like cool aspect as well, because like I back in the day, like playing on Gen 4, like I've never used like the underground function except for like looking for fossils, right? If anything.
Yeah, that's the same.
So a big change up, definitely a big change up.
One thing I'm quite interested to try with regards to the underground is, it seems, well, not it seems, I think they mentioned on the website or either in the trailer, I can't remember, but the statues in your secret base will determine what Pokemon spawn where. So I'd be interested to dive deep into that and see sort of what the rarest
Yeah.
Pokemon you can get is.
Yeah.
It might be up to Gen 4 or Gen 5. I don't know. Might be even new mechanics and all.
But what I
Yeah.
did like when they showed that, like they showed like the person playing the demo or whatever, he actually went and found a Houndoom in one of those things. And I was like, well, I'm tripping out, because like Houndoom is like one of like those, like, I don't know, just one of my favorite Pokemon. And it's like I can find this in the Sinnoh region, like even if it's like in a that whole underground place, it's still pretty cool. Like it gives us another
That-
fire Pokemon to use.
But what if it's post game? How annoying would that be?
Oh, that would
Oh.
really suck.
It would be
That
pretty
would really
annoying.
suck.
I don't know.
It would be
I'm not entirely sure I don't think that's going to be post game, only because the secret base thing you get, I think, if I remember correctly, it was either by the third gym. So before you even hit the halfway mark, you're already going into the secret bases, hunting for fossils, and that was really a nice touch. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Do you think that Grand Underground will be a new shiny method?
New
Oh yeah,
shiny
I
method.
definitely think they could be something. I was thinking about it. You mentioned like Pokemon Go. I definitely think there could be some kind of catch combo chaining mechanic. Maybe increased odds in the underground.
Yeah, I feel like that too. A
Or kind of
shiny
like
overworld
similar to what they
Pokemon
did.
would be good.
Yeah, so
I'm
like
not
similar to what they did in the Let's Go games, then, right? Hopefully they'll appear on the map as
Yeah.
well, or on the overworld.
I think
Oh, yeah,
Starry Cat
overall
will
Chinese will
be-
be
See, I think the mechanics gonna stay as pretty much as static as it has been, where you either encounter it and look at shiny, or you catch it shiny. But overworld shiny, I didn't even think about that. That would be nice. That would be a nice touch.
Yeah, there will be a lot. That will be really funny. It'll be so good.
There's also one thing I wanted to touch on. I noticed there were out of Dex Pokemon that sort of showed up in sort of those grand underground wild areas. So like
Mhm,
Sandshrew and Houndoom, I don't believe they were in the original
Nope.
Diamond and
Wasn't
Pearl
Mount of
decks, but
Platinum?
we're in the national decks. I don't think they
Yeah,
were in the
they're in the-
platinum decks either.
How
Or
big
were
is the
they?
national? How big is that actually?
Oh.
The
I think the
national
national was like how much? Like 400
Uh,
something. Kind of forgot.
Yeah, so at
but
that
it
point,
was like
it would have been 400 and something at that point. So, personally, I don't think the national dex is going to make a return.
I saw a screenshot with Bedoff and he had like 399 as Pokédex number. That might actually be a
Yeah,
thing now.
Really?
Yeah.
Arceus would be 493 on that dex. So
oh,
we're-
okay.
so I mean everything by this point when the games first came out, everything up to that point was allowed in the game. So I don't see why you wouldn't have almost 500 Pokemon in this particular version. It might be the only way to start filling out your decks if you're looking for to do a living dex or even just a regular Pokedex on
Yeah.
home.
I feel like 500
Yeah,
is
that-
more than enough.
Yeah, that actually make a lot of sense. Yeah.
What kind of post game do you guys want?
Post game?
That's
Yeah.
I actually haven't
Well-
thought about that.
I don't think
Well-
we will have a lot of post game in these games. Only in Legends, I
Oh.
think.
Probably.
So I definitely like to see post game legendary events for
Yeah, mid
for like the legendaries and the mythicals, because
And-
I think Shaman and Darkrai were
That-
And
That's
Cresselia.
extremely limited events, and there was no actual way to catch Arceus in the original Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Not in the US.
Oh yeah, not in the US.
Darkrai was an event that triggered an actual, like, you have to go visit this kid who's sleeping and you end up getting attacked by Darkrai. Shaman, I believe, if I remember right, you get a secret garden. Manaphy was
Yeah, I
the
think it
pain.
would.
We get that in the beginning of the game. Manaphy.
No. Originally, Manaphy, you had to go play a totally different game and get the egg.
Pokemon
into your
Ranger, yeah,
game.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
See, I think that's actually a very good mechanic personally, where you can tie in different legendary events with different games.
Mhm.
Make it a event out of it, yeah.
I mean, the only way you could get Fiona is if you got a Manaphy, and it was crazy because that one Pokemon required you to get to the event. You missed the
Mhm,
one event,
mhm.
you lost out on 2 Pokemon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but I've got high hopes for BDSP. I mean,
Yeah, same.
it can only get better with every new trailer that they release. Hopefully, they release at least one more before
How many
November.
trailers do you guys expect?
What was that?
How many trailers do you guys expect?
Probably one more before the game drops, and probably not much more than what we've already seen.
Yeah,
Because
so I
like
think
the game comes out in November, right? So like
yeah,
2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I reckon it'll be maybe like a release trailer for BDSP. I'm hoping to see it maybe 2 more for Legends, but I think they're trying to keep as much of that a secret as possible.
I think less too.
I mean, less is more, so
Yeah.
Like if anything,
Right.
yeah, maybe like what you said, like definitely like a pre-release trailer. Maybe they'll even like add some more like stuff to like spark everybody's like interest more. You know, like they'll probably like give us something. Well, maybe give us something new.
I mean, that
Even if it's just
underground wild
tiny
is
bit.
pretty new.
It is, and I think we mentioned the contest earlier as well. It actually looks a lot more interesting
Yeah.
to play now.
Yeah, it does.
Looks so much better.
Ooh, there was another thing I was really excited for. The revamped seal system. Oh, well, stickers now, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was happy to see that. I love the seal system.
you know, one thing I'm wondering about though is will they add the letters back? Because
No.
back in the Diamond and Pearl days, there was some pretty
Harsh.
Yeah.
choice words that were thrown onto Pokemon.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I can see Nintendo like, no, we learned our lesson with letters.
That's not
No.
gonna happen.
Oh my gosh, my favorite was I can't remember who I was watching. I think it was a Munching Orange video. And
Oh,
he's like,
that's the name I've
imagine if
heard
somebody sent out
while.
a Licky Licky that just had the word suck as its Pokemon seal.
Why? Why would you do it?
No, just no. No. Cringe, no.
Oh, we do love a good bit of humor, good bit of cringe humor.
No say so here. No say so here.
No, but no. Overall, I think the company that put this one together knocked it out. And can we
did a
actually just
great
address the
job.
fact? Can we just address the fact that Nintendo, that Game Freak said, "Hey, company that isn't us, can you do this remake for us?"
That
I mean,
is.
Actually, that was a
I
very
mean-
good point. I did kind of want to bring that up too. Like, I was gonna be like, okay, real question, guys. Though, the production company that's on it. I was about to ask that afterwards.
I mean, they absolutely nailed it the first time out, and these are the same guys that did Pokemon Home, which is
Mhm,
gonna
mhm.
lead me to believe that since we're getting Sword and Shield style graphics, I'm actually seeing a patch or another DLC for Sword and Shield down the road because of a couple of things.
Yeah, I don't think
theory
they
time,
will.
guys. Theory time.
I don't think they will do Gen 9 in 2022.
I could actually see them pushing it back just a little bit, just to give them a little bit more wiggle room,
Yeah.
especially with Legends
Yeah.
coming out next year. But
They have
really-
like a.
But what I was gonna say was they're using Sword and Shield style graphics for the battle sequences, which means the models are done. And if they are done correctly, I don't see why they couldn't port those mons into Sword and Shield as a patch or as another DLC that they'll drop after Legends of Arceus, because there are some mons that are gonna be in Legends that people are gonna want to play in competitive.
Very true. Very true.
I feel
yeah,
like
that's
gonna
for sure.
happen.
So I don't see why they wouldn't at least patch some stuff down the road.
I
And they
don't
even
feel-
made it clear. They did make it
May-
clear that Sword and Shield
Mm.
was going to be the only place to play competitive. So there's a couple of ducks there for me that lined up.
Mhm.
That's one thing I want to touch on real quick with the BDSP Pokemon models. I actually think those are the Pokemon Home models, and they've just been rigged up to work in the game
Mhm.
because they do look very, very similar. But also, on the note of Ilka making BDSP, I think Ilka's mainly a support studio, and like Draco said, they did an amazing job.
They can do future games remakes now. Depends how they make it. If you do it like Gen 4, like this, Shining Pearl and all,
Mhm. Mhm.
I see it happening actually.
What would be next
think
then?
future-
Gen 5?
Chippy character in Gen 5. I love to see that.
I would too.
Actually,
Gen 5, I
like
think,
it
is
quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Gen 5 is a very weird one because it's got black and white and then black and white 2. So which one do you remake, or do you sort of put them together and create a sort of extended game with maybe 2 different timelines?
I would say
So
put both of them together.
You could also
Very-
do like a whole brand, well, kind of like how they took their perspective of like Pokemon Go, right? They not Pokemon Go, Let's Go, the Let's Go games. It like happens with like a totally new set of trainers, so to speak. You could probably pull something off like that as well. But I guess in that case, it wouldn't be technically a remake, but something close.
I do feel like in 2022 we might get a Let's Go game again. Or a DLC from Sword and Shield on Legend Arceus.
Another kind of real question though. Oh, thanks for the follow. Lunar was here. Anyways, another real question though. Like, okay, I know there's like a lot of opinions going around about the actual overworld models for the Gen 4 remakes. What are you guys' opinions on that? Like that whole like chibi size or like shrunken down size and whatnot.
I'm not really against it. It's not bad.
you know what? Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't really mind it. A lot of people didn't like it. I think they did say it was going to be that BDSP were going to be faithful remake. So the sort of 3D chibi style does make sense. And after I think they showed us this last trailer, I think after they updated the lighting and everything, I actually think they look really good.
What
And
would you have loved more? Sword and Shield style or this?
you know what? Neither. If I could choose, I would have chosen the Let's Go style
Same.
because I thought,
Oh,
'Cause-
okay.
yeah, because my thought process is it's not, well, it's a main series game, but it's not a new generation or a sort of new iteration, if you get what I mean. So I think a Let's Go style would fit very perfectly into that sort of cartoony remake style.
All right, that's it. We can't be friends anymore.
You know what?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I actually get it, and honestly, we had 5 gens of that short chibi style because of hardware issues. Like you could only do so much, and honestly, seeing that brought back does tug on that nice little nostalgia for me.
I can probably agree with that in my opinion as well.
Yep, same.
Because like honestly, I have no problems because it's another remake, it's another Pokemon game. I'm gonna buy it, and
Yeah.
it's hitting hard for me too is the nostalgia as well because I think I stated like I stated earlier, Pokemon trading card game was like kind of like the first Pokemon game I got into, but I think because of Gen 4, the Gen 4 games, like that's where like that was like the highest peak for me. Like that is what like solidified like I guess my love for Pokemon, I think. So yeah. Graphics wise, I think it was pretty good. And I'm okay with it.
I mean, Pokemon is built on nostalgia. I mean, if you think about it, obviously Pokemon can afford to do whatever they want because, Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. And, most franchises grow up with their audience, and Pokemon sort of stayed at the same age level, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of us would actually buy the games out of nostalgia because, let's be real, the story doesn't really change. The style changes every 2-3 years, maybe more. I don't know. I don't math well, but I think it's all in the nostalgia, and they know how to play on those nostalgia strings. So, we'll see where the future goes. I think Legends will definitely be the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you guys have any further thoughts on BDSP, or are you comfortable to move on to talking about the real meat of this conversation, and that being Legends Arceus?
I'll give out like one last input. I think we were talking about earlier how the event Pokemon were gonna possibly show up, right, for the remakes. I can definitely see it being like post game content. Granted, they added it that way as well. But the other like big section that I wanted to kind of hoping for was Pokemon Platinum. You know, like how they have like that whole arc where you go after Giratina, right? Like I was wondering if they would be able to like incorporate that into the remakes. Maybe they could do it the same way like they did with the Oras series for with that whole like Delta episode thing. Maybe they'll have like another like episodic looking portion of the game for Giratina. At least that's something I'm kind of hoping for. Otherwise, it's just gonna be DLC. I'm just feeling DLC again, if anything.
Yeah, that I can definitely see that being added in as DLC. I mean, they could easily put it in the base game, but I think we'll see. We'll see it as DLC. They could take maybe the same route as Monster Hunter Stories did, and they could add it for free. But after seeing what they did with Sword and Shield, I could see it maybe being a $15 DLC, maybe a little bit more, maybe 20. But would definitely be something I would like to see, whether it's paid DLC or not.
It would depend. I mean, for BDSP having DLC, I mean, maybe if it was free, but paid, I don't think that's going to be well received if they did it. For Sword and Shield, I can see it. For Legends, maybe, but not for BDSP, only because there wasn't any such thing at that point in time, and to kind of drop it on
I feel
players,
the same.
yeah, that's gonna sour a lot of people.
People are going to get mad about that. Really mad.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to do that, they
so-
need to.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry, I cut Yari off. What were you saying, Yari?
No, just continue.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, or well, rather not say, but ask. What were your guys' opinions on, this first real look of the Hisui region, as we now know it's called?
Insane.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with the word insane.
3
in
years
a good
ago,
way,
I never thought
obviously.
this would happen.
Yeah, never expected it to happen. Like I know they teased it with us, like what was it, like a few months back, but definitely was not expecting like how it turned out now with the most recent trailer.
I mean, they definitely did take a lot of inspiration from other franchises, and I think it's pretty evident there's a lot of Breath of the Wild in there. Maybe some Monster Hunter and possibly Final Fantasy elements sprinkled in.
I'm fine with that.
It
It's a game better.
makes me excited. Yeah,
Yeah, because they are
Makes
definitely
excited
trying
with
something out new.
the final product will look like.
They blew me away.
But yeah, what do we think about? Oh, sorry, Draco.
No, I was just saying they totally blew me away with it. Like, I was expecting something pretty decent. I wasn't expecting what we got.
Same. I never thought we would get new Pokemon. Before.
Yeah.
So, in that same. Sorry, Glenn. What were you about to say?
Oh no, I was just about to say yeah, like same. I wasn't expecting like the like I really want to say like they literally just hit us with like a lot of stuff in that trailer.
I feel like we're still missing a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah, I have to
big of a
agree.
game.
Oh yeah, no, that is for sure. But what do we think about the new evolutions for Stantler and Basculin?
I love
Mm.
those.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
they're
definitely say
really
the
good.
Basque Legion thing looks really dope because like I looked at Basculin as a mod. It's like you're not that great. You're just a fish. You're just one of these fishes, you know. And then you throw this evolution at me. It's like, oh, I
Okay.
I guess I have to take back everything I said about you now.
Now you're just a big fish.
You're a big fish,
Yeah.
but you can kill me too.
So
Oh
you guys mentioned Breath of the Wild real quick, and I had to look it up. The size of Breath of the Wild before you get any kind of DLC is 13.4 gigs. Okay.
Ooh.
Poke Experto tweeted out that the Legends game is 13 gigs. Let that sink in for a second.
That's a lot.
That is huge.
It's
If
so
we're
much.
talking about the area size, that is enormous.
What does that mean? A lot of post game?
I don't think we're going to get too much as far as post game goes, but there's definitely going to be a lot to explore.
Definitely.
yeah, especially if you think about how Breath of the Wild compares to Legends Arceus. I mean, Breath of the Wild has different towns and other stuff dotted around, etc. And Legend is only one main town and a few base camps, and then the rest is
Yeah.
probably just Hisui region.
And like all probably like I don't want to like corny like what's the word? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on it, but like it could also just mean like could be the oh my god, the file size could also be affected by probably the overworld Pokemon themselves, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
we'll
that's very
definitely be
true.
seeing a lot more of
could
that
be.
instead of like
And we
I
do,
guess in Breath of the Wild, you know.
and we do know Pokemon don't have the best track history when it comes to compression. So I mean, I think Sword and Shield was about, what was it, 8 gigs before any DLC.
I believe so.
So what you're saying is definitely a possibility.
But if anything, like just like what Draco said, like expect like a huge map. Like we're expecting a huge map.
Or at least decent size.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind. I think it's really big. Should be. Not the size of Legend of not the size of Legend of Zelda, but close
Hmm.
maybe.
Maybe. The other thing
Mhm.
that Poke Experto tweeted out with that was that it's apparently 2 players. Now, again, all
players?
speculation. We don't have any concrete. Here's the box, but Poke Experto's pretty usually on the money.
but no, on Pokemon's website for the pre-orders it says 1 to 2 players.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for real?
Not really,
Yeah.
not line battles. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. And that's something they didn't even say in the trailer either, but it's just like sneakily put there on their official website. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Damn. Or on the pre-order
They
website.
gave us so much info.
yeah. So it might have not actually been the Pokemon website. It might have actually been the Nintendo website, but it's one of the two.
Definitely gonna have to look that up later.
Mhm.
But if it does become 1 to 2 players, I'm kind of interested in like on how that actually plays out. You know, because like the
Yeah.
most we get for multiplayer from Pokemon would just be like, what? Like most recently was like the whole curry thing. You know, cooking with your friends. Yeah, there was the underground tunnel function back in like the original Gen 4 games, and I think that's about it. Contest.
I mean, you know, it's definitely gonna be what I think that it could definitely be is some missions might be too hard to complete alone. Well, not too hard to complete alone, but very difficult to complete alone. And then
Mhm.
you could just hit up a friend and be like, you know what, here's the link code to my game,
Yeah,
and they
like
put
Monster
that
Hunter
in
World.
some way.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly
Monster
like
Hunter has
that.
the same, yes. They might actually do that.
So
Really good one.
Here's a question for you, and I'm throwing this out there based on a few things. So, when we first heard about this game, they're talking about how it was the Hoenn region before it was the Hoenn region where things were much harsher. Then this past week they drop on us an evolution for Stantler, which up until this point Stantler didn't have an evolution. Same thing with Boscalan
Mhm, mhm.
and an alternative form for Growlithe. None of those three were a thing when we first visit those region as we know it now.
Uh-huh,
What
uh-huh.
is to say? What is to say that the wild Pokemon that we're catching, specifically the starters that would normally would get, don't have an alternate evolution?
I
You're
hope
talking
they
about Pokemon from different regions evolving in a harsher terrain.
I feel like they will have alternate forms. If they even evolve. I hope.
I'm
They
voting
might
out
have
another
I-
Charizard form.
Oh,
Well, if you notice,
Charizard needs more love. Let's be real. Charizard doesn't get enough love.
hey, you guys aren't alone. But if you notice in the trailer, you never see an evolved version of Cyndaquil, of Oshawott, or of Rowlet.
there's a
Those
reason
three
for that.
specific Pokemon stay in their first form when they're fighting level 60s.
Good
Yeah,
that means
and-
their second form also has a new form.
See, that's also in the same breath. It's you don't see the evolved forms of Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott in their plushy forms behind the gentleman who was, presenting the presents like you did for the Sinnoh starters.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, we already know a lot about BDSP just from Diamond and Pearl, but we know next to nothing about Legends, and it's evident. I think it's evident with them only showing the base form of the starters.
Yeah, and Jari has been saying they're hiding stuff, and I absolutely agree. They are hiding another.
They
huge
always do
plot.
that. It's not new.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they are hiding something huge that they haven't touched upon yet. We have a base idea of what's going on, and we know that we're going to be transferring Pokemon from these games to home. But
Yeah,
why?
yeah. Mhm.
Why the specific Pokemon have been shown? You notice that you see Shellos and Gastrodon. They put them together, so you see them there. They had
Mhm.
evolved forms hanging with unevolved forms. You see the Toxicroak and the Hippowdons. They showed them walking around, but whenever you see the starter Pokemon, you only ever see base Turtwig. You only ever see base Chimchar, base Piplup. You don't see them messing around with other evolved stages. And I'm kind of curious if they're going to be pushing something with the starters, because if you notice, they've done it with Gen 1, where the starters get Mega Evolutions, the starters get Gigantamax for Gen 1. Gen 2 didn't get anything. Gen 3 got Mega Evolutions. Gen 4 didn't get anything. Gen 5 didn't get anything. Gen 6 got skipped. 7 got Z moves. And the Gen 8 starters got G-Max.
Well, to be fair too, like Gen 6 did start the whole Mega Evolution thing too, if anything.
Yeah, but none of the starters got anything for it.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
Only
only
ones that
Greninja
get
really got it
Greninja.
special.
Oh, right. But that
Yeah,
was
he's
just
the
for
only
Ninja.
one.
And it's not like you could
Greninja was
evolve it.
Yeah, but you had to get the special version of Greninja. You
Mhm.
couldn't do it with a base Greninja.
True,
So
true. Yeah.
this leads me to think that we're starting to see a trend with future games, even going back to games like Legends Arceus, where they're going to incorporate the starter Pokemon in whatever they're going to be pushing for that game.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. One thing, because we were just having a little chat before we started, and one thing that I'd mentioned and that I really believe is, I believe that in Legends Arceus, Arceus is going to be the antagonist of the game. So God himself is going to be the whole evil team.
You have to fight an Arceus with every single typing.
Oh no.
Oh, imagine.
That's gonna be really funny. I hope.
That's where the
That's-
plates come from.
That's why it's 1 to 2 players, because you need more people with more typings. Oh
Hit him
man.
with a rock. And follow up with a suplex.
I don't have a bug type move.
Oh gosh.
I can't imagine that. I mean, you know, fighting him with all types or something. I think, what was I gonna say? I wanted to bring up the whole. I think earlier we were talking about like the new forms for Stantler and Basculin, right? So what about the new Hisuian forms themselves? Like, I know everyone's raving about like the whole Hisuian Growlithe, and then there's also Hisuian Braviary, I think was the other one announced, right? So specifically, I want to focus on the Growlithe here. So this was a variant that was found in this what is now the Sinnoh region today, but way back then, right? Like this was like way before it became Sinnoh, right? So just like on a speculative perspective, what happened to it? Like, did it just go extinct? Do you think you'll maybe like, what if we could find fossils of it in the underground tunnel or something?
Warming.
I think they
Got
just.
warmer in the region.
I mean, that's a very good
Probably,
question,
yeah.
and I think I've got an answer to that. So you know how they say in the trailer it's horn or fluff or whatever is made of rock, and it's very
Mhm,
fragile, so it only ever uses it when it has to. So I think they're going to spin it that the Growlithe eventually used it so much that evolution dictated, well, like normal evolution, not Pokemon evolution, dictated that they didn't need those horns or that fur anymore. So, you know, baby Growlithe stopped growing it eventually over time.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And it lost its rock typing. I like that.
I feel like the distortion world will be in Legends.
The distortion world in
Oh, I didn't
Legends.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. I
That
sent
would
you.
be
Look at that. I
interesting.
sent you something. You need to look at that. That was in the leaked images.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I think that will be in the game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten about that. Or well, it hadn't even not forgotten is the wrong word. It completely hadn't crossed my mind.
Sorry, where was this located at? The picture that you posted?
No mic chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there was always a question about how this thing with the distortion world with Giratina, Dialga, Palkia,
Ooh.
Arceus, how all of this came to be. Legends feels like it may actually backfill that story so we can see firsthand what exactly happened, but then also at the same time get a taste of how time changes Legends.
Yeah.
We get to actually view the actual events happening, and then we see how they've altered throughout the course of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's true.
I've got my own little theory about that. but it's not fully fleshed out, so I won't say it unless you guys actually want to hear it. But there's definitely a lot that we're gonna find out in this game.
Yeah.
And
I do. This is not even post game. I think.
yeah, post game is weird because we've never had a Pokemon game like this. So it'll be very interesting to see what post game is like.
Do we even need the post game?
Oh, it's Pokemon. We always need the post game.
Yeah, but will we even get a post game with this? Don't feel like it.
He's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong.
Dude, post game is fighting the Hisui Elite Four.
Oh, what if they took like a Gen 7 approach on that? It's like, because you know, like how the Alola region was trying to make an Elite Four. So yeah, like what if you're trying to find members to become like the Elite Four for part of the post game, and of course you end up challenging them too, of course, you know.
Oh, kind of like Alola.
I think.
Yeah.
See, I think that's a very good idea, and there's one thing I want to touch on real quick, is you know how you see the Galarian Wheezing smokestacks on the the Galaxy Expedition, whatever it's called, headquarters.
I gotta rewatch this trailer.
Just rewatch it real quick. Does Professor Laventon not look like a dressed up gentleman from somewhere that would, or somewhere in the Pokemon region that would represent an olden day Britain or an olden day England?
I don't really know.
I mean,
'Cause, I mean-
they're dropping so much and they're teasing so much, and they're not saying anything. And I think this is finally the first time that they've done this right, where we can speculate the fact of Galarian Wheezing being in a game that takes place in ancient Sinnoh.
Yeah, see, my thinking with what I just said is because they say Professor Lavington's gone all over. I hope I'm saying his name right.
It sounds English
gone-
too.
Actually,
might
yeah,
be
it
right.
does. Because they do mention he's gone all over, and that's why he's got, you know, the Rowlet, the Cyndaquil, and the Oshawott to offer you. So, in the same breath, maybe he's the one who helps you set up a Pokemon League, or at least the beginnings of what is a Pokemon Lab and Pokemon trainers.
That might actually happen. I feel like the Reggies might actually also be in the game.
Oh, yes. I hope my big rock boy is in the game.
Did you guys catch the fact that the Wurmple has a horn on the back of its head?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until someone sent it in the Discord.
Wait,
and
like a horn? What?
Yeah,
Yeah, see,
there's a horn
The
in
yellow-
the back of the head of the Wurmple.
Huh.
yeah, it's identical to the horn on the front of its head, and it's never had it in any other game. Oh. So,
Oh, that
Uh,
yellow horn? Is it that yellow
yeah.
horn? Oh,
That wouldn't me be
The
a new.
exact
I don't-
one.
Yeah.
But we've
There's
seen
so much.
You know what we haven't seen, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? We've seen Wurmple, we've seen Beautifly. We haven't
Not
seen
the-
Silcoon, Cascoon, or Dustox.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
Galarian
about that one.
Dustox
Yeah.
confirmed.
And remember how people were losing their minds thinking that we were going to get a Galarian Dustox because of the bow on one of the trainer's heads from the DLC? What if that was a tease for Legends, and the Dustox that we get in Legends is going to look like that bow?
Yeah. I think you're right.
They are
That
known for doing
could
stuff like
happen.
that too.
Yeah. There are so many things. I feel like this podcast is gonna be like an hour.
I mean, we could just spend an hour just dissecting Legends alone, coming up with theories, because for as short as it is, there is so much to unpack.
I mean, you know, It's like that whole what are those iceberg diagrams? Like what you see on the top is nowhere close to what's lying underneath the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know what? We'll have to wait and see. And I mean, you can speculate so much about what's going on, what you think's gonna happen. Because I think what they've shown is just very vague.
Yeah. Although I did want to bring up the fact that I love the mechanic where now you as the player can be attacked by Pokemon if you're not careful.
I still got nightmares from that.
Oh, almighty God Bidoof is gonna smite everyone.
Oh my god.
Right?
No, please don't. No.
You have been beaten by Bidoof because he said so.
And I will still be proud.
Yeah, right.
Dude, why do you
don't
think in the trailers why do you think in the trailers the player character walks up to Bidoof so calmly and so tentatively?
Because it's a god. He's higher than Arceus.
Automatically lose against
jeez.
Arceus and have a Bidoof in your team.
Bidoof, the real
Everyone
endgame
named it.
boss.
I mean, there was that. There's the battle, the battle sequence where you're actually finally seeing Pokemon hitting each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude,
I
there's
wonder,
so much
are they
going
gonna
on in
fight
those.
each other in real life too? Like in Monster Hunter?
That would actually be something I would like to see. So
They might do
But-
that. That's called Turf War, I'm pretty sure, Monster Hunter.
But I just got done
I mean-
watching the trailer again, and like I did notice like that wormhole thing. It does have that yellow horn in the back. I don't think I've ever seen that before either. And another thing is, so I guess we're having something like geez, what did they call it in Alola? That Pokemon ride mechanic or something. So I'm
yeah,
guessing that's
Poke
what we're
Ride.
getting as well.
Yep.
I do hope that like we can ride other Pokemon over land instead of just Hisui Stantler. Not Stantler, fucking Worder.
Weird deer. I like calling it weird
No.
deer.
Worder.
I mean, let's see. There's the camping system, the crafting system. That one blew my mind. The crafting system.
Wait, they mentioned a crafting system?
That's stolen from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you,
can craft your
you
own-
see the
you can craft your own
acorn
Pokeballs
and
now.
Tumblestone.
I really love
Wow.
that. That's so good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Having a crafting
craft-
system.
You can craft your own balls. You can craft your own. Looks like revives now as well, provided that you
Oh.
have all the. Yeah, they've put a lot of thought into this, and there's so many little things hidden if you watch. Like what's with Lucario smacking the tree? That's how you get.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's how they were showing you getting some of the apricorns. Lucario's sitting there just punching a tree for you.
Nah,
it's like, we're not
Lucario just
shaking
didn't
it
like the
anymore.
tree pick.
I feel like it's just a hint towards 3M's for the shield. That's something they will do.
Lucario literally
Yeah.
shaking down the tree for what it's got.
Gimme.
One thing that also caught my attention wasn't in the trailer per se, but it was on the pre-orders page. I think if you pre-order a physical copy, either the single or the double pack, you get a Hisui and Growlithe themed like outfit, which made me ask myself, when you defeat Pokemon, do they drop their like hair or tails or whatever, so you can craft different items themed after different clothing outfits themed after different Pokemon?
That would be cool. That would be cool. Give more stuff to do in the crafting system, if anything.
Craft your own clothing. That would actually be nice. Um, yeah, it's like if you pre-order the physical copy, you get the outfit. If you pre-order the digital copy, you get the outfit and 30 heavy balls.
Oh. Wait, and that all goes towards the Legends of Arceus game, or does that go to the Sword and Shield game? Oh, okay.
Legends.
No, that's Legends. There's also one thing I quite enjoyed. Heavy balls work completely differently to how they work in the main series, or how we know them to work in the past.
Oh, that's right.
So the normal ancient Pokeballs, you can throw from further and they fly faster. However, the heavy ball, you can't throw from as far away, but it has an increased chance of catching the Pokemon.
Wait, where did you find this info at?
I saw it in a video someone did. I think it was one of Austin John's deep dive videos.
Oh, okay. I definitely gotta go check that out afterwards too. Then.
I was actually just looking at the craft system too. Give me 1 minute. I'll find out for you. Oh, there's smoke bombs too. You can actually use smoke bombs to get around. Here we go.
Nice.
Heavy balls are a special variety of Pokeballs that are more effective at catching Pokemon that haven't yet noticed you. They're heavier than regular Pokeballs, so they don't fly very far. You'll want to make sure you sneak close to a Pokemon before you use one of those. This is on their official website.
Oh, okay. Nice. Oh, that is pretty different. And you said it improves the catch rate or something too?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's basically like a great ball, but no risk, no reward kind of thing.
Just got to be really close to the Mon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, did you guys notice in the trailer that we've seen Great Balls and Ultra Balls look exactly the same apart from, they've now got the clasp and the little part where the steam sprays up.
I noticed a Great Ball. I didn't notice the Ultra Ball. I probably just missed it.
Yeah, there's one scene where you see all three. So,
what I'm actually looking at is also the smoke bombs. You need to use the smoke bombs to get close to those Pokemon that you're trying to catch. So there's a lot of little mechanics that they've implemented to this game that just there's a lot in here just on that alone. You've got to drop the smoke bomb so you can get all up and close, so you can chuck a heavy ball to catch these Pokemon that are harder to catch. And that's if you're actually successful. I mean, what happens if you aren't successful and they break out? Does it initiate combat?
We didn't
it's
see
also
that.
Another thing. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Pokeballs shake anymore. It seems like before it hits the ground, that's when the Pokemon would usually break out, and if it doesn't, then you've caught it. I don't know, maybe I missed it, but it does seem like the Pokeballs don't shake anymore.
Yeah, I saw the same. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I like the tree shaking too.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss
I'm
that.
impatient. So
You're not even patient for 3 seconds?
I don't need that stress in my life, especially when I'm catching a shiny or a legendary.
No, I feel like that too.
I want a duct tape function. Now that you can actually run up and do stuff, it's like chuck the Pokeball, run up, duct tape it closed. Yeah, try and get out now.
Oh yeah, by the way, we've only seen 2 of the ride Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
quote unquote ride Pokemon.
the third one might be Nuzleaf, his evolutions.
Yeah, there's a Pokemon for climbing that we haven't seen anymore.
Maybe it's
anymore. We haven't seen
Sceptile.
yet.
Which one?
If there is an ancient Sceptile, I will lose my mind.
I will jump in my swimming pool, and it's really cold.
Oh, man's just flexing his money on us. Man's got a swimming pool.
How? I'm thinking about that.
I mean, to be fair, I've also got a swimming pool. It's called my bath, but we don't talk about it.
Get out of my head. But I mean, we can do an entire episode of just what we saw in the trailers and discussing the different nuanced battles, the battle tactics that they've introduced, the catching mechanics, the crafting system. Like we just breaking stuff down. There's just so much that they announced and barely talked about that it leaves so much discussion for anybody to have with this game. Just even
Oh, yeah.
theory crafting, you know, like, oh, hey, what about this? How about if they do it this way? So many possibilities in such a 3-minute trailer that, holy cow, how did they manage this? Finally, somebody in the marketing department got it right.
I mean, we're definitely not finished talking about this. That is for sure. Also, that's one heck of a tangent we went on. We went from talking about Hisui and Growlithe to talking about, well, talking.
Yeah.
This thing is
Although-
gonna be out like 3 hours long.
Well, part 1, part 2, part 3. No, but someone did ask a question, and I do want to get to that before we, close out. Do you think there will be DLC for Legends Arceus or BDSP? In both cases, probably
Mm,
not.
I would say more of Legend Arceus.
Yeah, like I said, for BDSP, I would like to see DLC, but I don't think there will be. But for Legends Arceus, I have no doubt that there will be DLC. I think it would be a risky move for them not to capitalize on that. Because I mean, even if it's small updates every month that you pay, let's say $10, and you get the updates for the rest of the year, that adds the new content. Obviously, not game improvement updates.
See, like I said, that's where I think they wouldn't do it for these two games. I think they'll just go back to Sword and Shield and do it there, because
Ooh.
you're gonna want to keep fostering the next newest generation, and they've always had it in such a way that even if they do a remake, you're still on the platform of the current generation.
Speaking about Sword and Shield, what Pokemon is in Sword and Shield? Or, well, let me say, what final evolved Pokemon is in Sword and Shield that got a Hisuian form?
Arcanine?
Anyone? No, we
Braviary.
don't know if Arcanine. Yeah,
Braviary.
Braviary. Braviary is in Sword and Shield, and they did say, I think it was in the trailer, it might be on the website, that Rufflet that grow up in the Hisui region evolve into Hisui Bravery. So what if we're able to take the Hisui Bravery over to Sword and Shield, because Braviary is already in Sword and Shield?
I think we
I'm
should
about
be
blow
able
your
to.
mind. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think we should be able to, because they did mention that there was going to be Pokemon Home compatibility for the Gen 4 remakes and Legends of Arceus, but it's gonna come like next year though, from what I remember correctly.
But here's the question. And I'm posing this thing to all of you. What's a Gen 5 Pokemon doing in a Gen 4 zone?
I mean,
Which Gen 5 are we talking about? I might have missed it again. Oh, Braviary.
Braviary. Braviary's Gen 5.
Braviary.
And we're talking about Ancient Sinnoh, which is Gen 4. There's a story right there, man. There is a huge story right there.
I mean, you think about it as well. Basculin's also Gen 5, and it gets a new evolution in a region it's not from. Well,
That's true. the Basque Legion. That's right. Speaking of Basque
also-
Legion, that kind of has a dark backstory, kind of, or it has some kind of dark lore, huh?
Those Pokemon do. I mean, you've got let's see, you've got the balloon that steals children. You've got lantern, chandelier that burn the souls of the dead. I mean, seriously, Frostlass, like look up your ghost Pokemon and read the backstories from read the actual flavor text throughout the gens. They are really dark.
Just like Phantom. Oh boy.
Yeah.
If I mean, even there's a lot of non-ghost type Pokemon whose entries are just them destroying the world.
Malamar, secret evil genius villain.
Dude, Malamar is definitely that evil villain from Austin Powers.
Okay.
That'd be a
Malamar-
funny way to look at it.
Well, I mean, he's one of two Pokemon that has the signature move that have the same signature move. Well, similar. Topsy Turvy. Up until Clobbopus came out, Malamar was the only one that got that one. And that move wrecks you.
Oh right, because it's stuff, right? It flips stat buffs and stuff, right? And debuffs.
Yup. So, oh hey, I've got a Steam Engine weakness policy colossal. Ha ha ha. Malamar comes in and goes, yeah, enjoy those negative sixes. Bye.
Oh.
That strategy.
That's one thing I'm also a bit sad about is there's not really going to be a competitive scene for either BDSP or Legends. Legends, I didn't really think there would be, but you know, BDSP is a bit, you know, it's on the nose.
Well, see, that's why I think we're gonna get a DLC for Sword and Shield with this to adjust for these mons that we're gonna have available.
Oh, that's true, because they did say that they weren't focusing on like the competitive aspect, right, for BDSP, but they said they were gonna bring it over to Sword and Shield, I think, right? Like they wanted to keep all of that competitive stuff in that game. So I think when you think about it that way, then it makes all the more sense for like for home to be usable, and then you know getting those mons into Sword and Shield, and then releasing them into the wilds of competitive. Oh god, the return of Gliscor and
Poison Heal Gliscor.
ooh. Or what's his
Yeah.
evolved form? I forgot what his evolved form was called.
But Gliscor is the evolved form.
Oh, it is. Oh, Gligar. Gligar was the first form.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. See,
Oh man.
I find it very sussy that Home is only updating in 2022 for both games. So I'm still under the impression that they're going to keep their promise that they made when Home was first announced, where there's going to be like mini games and like a Poke Paradise-esque type deal.
Hey, as long as I can get my boy Kecleon back into battle, I'm happy. I'd be happy.
Oh man, Kecleon.
The OG Protean Pokemon.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
knock Kecleon. That guy's a monster if you build him right.
I definitely got to see that. Like, I personally just haven't seen anything on Kecleon, so I definitely want to see that.
Well, you run the Protean with all of the priority attacks. I think he gets 3 out of 4 of them, and they just run Protect on the last one. And basically, you're rock paper scissoring somebody to death.
I thought Color Swap changed the type based on what attack you get hit by.
Yeah, but it also uses Protean as a hidden ability.
Oh.
I didn't know it had Protean as a hidden ability.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're going to talk about stuff like this in this channel, too.
Oh, yes. Oh, now you got me excited.
There's not something for me. I never play competitive.
Oh, this isn't even for competitive. It's just I find it funny when I take out a color change Kecleon. It's like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with a rock type. Now I'm gonna hit you with my water type. Oh, you're down. Sad. But then when you go to against the Elite Four, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, Shadow Claw. No, I'm sorry, Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch, and oh, you're down. Well, that stinks. I just beat you with a Kecleon. Take that, Agatha.
Sorry, don't be hating on my girl Agatha. She's next to Elite Four member, Granny Aggie. Listen, she's the only woman in the entirety of Pokemon who's been able to tell Professor Oak what to do. So she deserves all the respect.
I'll give you that.
That's true. That's true. Oh, there was something I wasn't sure. Sorry, because I stepped away for a little bit because I had to use the bathroom. But did we touch on the fact for the Legends of Arceus game? Like, you know those like kind of enraged Pokemon? You know, the ones with like the glowing red eyes and whatnot. Did we ever talk about that
Those creepy things.
so far?
Yay.
Oh no, we didn't touch on that.
Oh.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that again. Like when I rewatched the trailer earlier, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be pretty cool. And then another thought came into my mind, how you guys were talking about the distortion world. Like, what if that was like a side effect of like, quote unquote, let's say the distortion world is in the game, you know?
Ooh, that would be really cool. I really like that
That'd be
idea.
so cool.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
But also, did you notice? Oh no, we do see them fight Rage Raid. Well, I'm just gonna call them Rage Raid Pokemon. I was gonna say because I thought we didn't actually see the Rage Raid Pokemon getting fought against with actual Pokemon. I thought as the trainer we had to sort of distract them and calm them down or whatever. But then
Crobat
Again-
eats a Hyper Beam to the face.
I mean, you know, man's got the memory of a rusty spoon that's been left to underground for millions of years.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that like struck me kind of like funny as well. Because like you do see the character in the trailer capture it as well, and then I'm guessing maybe you need to do something like in Pokemon Coliseum where you gotta maybe they have like a bar or something to lower down their rage, or maybe they just become unraged after you catch them. I'm not entirely sure. Of course, this is all purely speculation, but I'm wondering if there would be another mechanic for that kind of thing. Because you know, if we do end up catching these guys, like, is there going to be a point to it, or will these just be guys that just give us more EXP kind of thing? Like,
I mean, they made it a point
Also-
to show that the same Pokemon that were enraged were also chilling out with the trainer in one
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it leads you to
that's-
believe that there's got to be at least some point where you can calm them down and purify. Well, for the lack of a better term, purify them.
Yeah, that's also what I was going to mention. Is I think they've shown Pokemon that were previously enraged through different parts of the story, because you see things like Baneri, and then you see like Gyarados and Ursaring. So I think that sort of enragement, quote unquote, is going to happen fairly early on.
Probably story
Yeah.
related too. At some points.
So, yeah, I think those might act as sort of story progression markers, because there's no like gyms or Elite Four or anything, obviously, for
Mhm.
obvious reasons.
Speaking of the battle system as well, we were also thrown at with the whole like, was it power style and agile style as well? I think for Pokemon moves, like you can choose like, you know, you choose either that style or this style, and it'll affect like what happens, right? Power style will be like a
Oh,
more
yeah.
heavier hitting move, but then your turn comes like a little bit later or something, and then agile was like the opposite, where you do less damage, but your turn comes sooner, kind of thing, like as an RPG element kind of deal.
Well-
I think that's pretty cool as well as an addition.
I was looking at that, and I noticed that it looked like you could go agile style, standard, or strong.
Strong
It
style,
looked
that's
like
what
you,
it's called.
yeah, but it looked like you can toggle between the three, which basically gives you
Mhm.
about 12 different ways of using moves. But there was also the turn calculator that's on the top corner, if you've noticed.
Mhm,
And like for Lucario, it's like Lucario, and then I forgot what he was fighting. I think it was a Garchomp, and then Lucario, and then Garchomp again. So basically, it's
Mhm.
looking like you get to smack twice in battle, which is also something new that Pokemon has not done, and I
Yeah, I
kind of
think
like
that
this.
is. Yeah, that as a whole is very interesting because you know it makes you think about stats more. Because obviously your faster Pokemon are going to get to attack more.
Mhm, mhm. Oh, that'd be so broken.
But
Yeah, well, I
you
mean
know,
that's gonna turn battles on its head if you think about it. They brought that into Gen 9. Could you just imagine that? Knowing your Pokemon is gonna be that slow, that you're gonna need to invest in your defenses unless you've got Trick Room in your back pocket, and then all of a sudden, all those opponent moves switch to yours.
I mean, you know what? Your boy Chase is smooth brain, so he's just going to use strong style all the time because brute force.
No, I'm gonna totally forget about the styles and just constantly use standard. Like,
But did you notice some moves? Like I think Nasty Plot was one of them. They
mhm.
can be affected by strong style or agile style, and then other buffing moves don't, or certain other ones don't. So
Here's a thought on that.
does
Here's a nasty plot. What exactly did that one do again? I'm a little rusty.
Raise special attack, I believe.
yeah? I think. Hold on, let me look real quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's raise special attack.
Yeah. So Nasty Plot.
Yeah, by 2 stages.
Yeah.
So what if moves like that, if you went agile style, it's only 1 stage, standard 2 stage, strong 3 stages, but because strong requires you to, that slows you down. It's how they compensate for the fact that you're bolstering yourself that much.
Okay.
It would
Okay.
definitely be. Yeah, it would definitely be a way to strategize with like slower Pokemon like Snorlax or Slackoth. Not that Slackoth needs any help because Slackoth is the thing of nightmares, but it does make a lot of
Trant.
sense.
Oh, Trant's gonna be brutal for this system.
I can't imagine that though. Like using those buffs. Let's say you do use it on like a Snorlax or something, and then you just belly drum with it. Granted, you're able to use the styles on it. Huh.
Oh, God, imagine if Belly Drum was had that kind of setup. Oh, instead of taking half hit points, I'm just gonna take a quarter. Then instead of taking half hit points, I'm taking 3/4 of my life.
But you'll take all the damage, regardless of it's not very effective against you or not.
There's just so much to unpack on that 3-minute trailer that it's ridiculous.
On that note, I think it might be time to start looking at wrapping things up because we have been. How do I put this nicely?
We've been talking
Rambling
a long time.
for about an hour and a
yeah.
half.
Even my stream's gone
Oh,
on for like an
wow.
hour and a half almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you got
1 and 2.
One thing I want to talk about is the shinies in Legend Arceus. What you said in Discord, Chase. That might be a thing. No web
oh
feed.
yes, about the tasks.
Yeah, I
so
think
I
that might
think,
be.
and I think I watched Adri's video, and that's along the same lines as I was thinking that tasks raise a Pokemon's shiny odds. Because if you look at the tasks for, I think it was Shinx, some of them have arrows that are pointing up. So what if you complete those tasks and it boosts the odds for that specific Pokemon, and it's not the odds for Pokemon overall?
Like 100 tasks for one Pokemon is a lot. It's a really
is a
long
lot.
time.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that makes sense.
How are they gonna show shinies though? Like
Ooh,
that
Again, overworld shinies would be the ideal scenario.
We can't
Agreed.
show. Yeah, I agree too.
But again, the Trollmaster Kings that Game Freak are, who knows? They could just come straight out of left field and be like, bah, no overworld shinies for you.
You know what? I've decided I'm gonna ask somebody to make a theme song for Monster to send over to him. It's gonna be the original Pokemon theme song, except gotta troll them all, troll Suda.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's gonna be funny.
I dare.
So,
Okay,
have we
that's
got any further thoughts before we want to wrap things up?
Oh,
Nope.
can't think of anything. Oh, just
What?
quickly, I did notice that this is back to BDSP. We do have outfits coming again, which is pretty good. But from the way I see it from the trailer, I don't think you can pick and choose like little separate pieces of your outfit. I think you just get like a whole outfit to use. So like customization is probably very low for that game, I think.
Yeah, that's very much akin to what it was like in Let's Go. Which, I mean,
Mhm.
not hating on it, but it's not the greatest customization in the world. But at least it's something, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not limited to, you know, the one skin color, the one hair color at the start either.
Did not notice that. That would be pretty damn cool though.
I think there's a screenshot either on the BDSP part of Pokemon's website, or it's somewhere else. Again, I saw it in another YouTuber's video when I was watching the deep dives.
Definitely gonna check those out afterwards. It's been a while for me to see all this Pokemon news, and it's like, oh, guess I'm slowly getting hooked back in again.
It's maybe a little bit too much. It's so much.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, it's like all condensed, right?
I'm the Glizzy Gobbler equivalent of Pokemon news. I just take it all at once.
If we get shiny into the Legend Arceus, are you guys gonna shiny hunt or not?
I'm sorry, come again?
He asked if we would be shiny hunting in Legends, and I think I am. I'm not much of a shiny hunter, but even I have to admit that game I can spend hours in just the one field, and I'd be great.
Yeah, same.
You know what?
I think I would just be running around getting butt kicked. That's it.
Jason, no, you don't have any patience for that.
Yeah. I
Man, I got
I can
1,000
definitely
hours
say
on
I'll
one
probably.
game.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
1,000
I can
hours
definitely
logged
say
in
I'll
just
shiny
Pokemon
hunt as well.
Y.
That's a lot of hours.
I mean, man, I've been hooked on Monster Hunter Stories 2, and I don't even have that much in that game.
Level up, scrub.
Although on my different Sword and Shield save files, I've probably got nearly 1,000 hours.
Way more than me. I think I probably got half that still, or probably like a good fifth. Because I stopped playing.
Yeah. See,
I
I like shiny hunting all the new shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, same. I shouldn't be watching spoilers.
Oh All you need is that Ryu
Sorry.
luck, you know.
Oh God! Shiny master over there.
I know he's not here,
I
but
don't under,
you know, he's got that shiny luck.
I don't understand where he gets it from. That man definitely sold his soul to Giratina.
We love you, son,
Okay.
but we also hate you.
Uh,
Every other day.
I'm actually
guys,
quite
here's a
sad.
shiny. Here's a shiny, guys.
oh yeah,
There
with
it
my
is.
my last comment, it's not because I'm depressed. It's because Ryu couldn't join us.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, we blame him.
So we'll just take notes
Yeah.
that when he actually comes in for the next episode, we'll just rib him a little bit about that.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
brilliant.
no, of course. Sorry, Yari, we don't believe in bullying here. We just believe in unconventional teaching methods.
Exactly,
And
bullying.
quote unquote friendly banter.
Okay, sure, I'm alright with that.
I love you guys. You're the best.
Anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Definitely.
We've been talking way too much.
So, to everybody that stuck around this far, I know it must have been very difficult. I mean, even I would struggle a little bit.
I
This is
did.
podcast.
Well, I did say this was the extra cringy episode. This is us just finding our feet.
And I think for a podcast, I think
Yeah.
around this time is kind of I almost want to say almost average or kind of normal, like somewhere around that area. Because like I've seen podcasts that go like much longer, and it's like, how do they do it? How do they do it?
How long is this? Like an hour?
Hour and a half?
Are you gonna
Hour and a
edit
half.
things out? That's all.
I think Chase might. I'm just gonna upload it straight onto, or I'm just gonna export it straight onto YouTube.
Of
Chase is gonna
course,
sit there and edit out all the parts where I'm talking. God, shut up!
Oh, but I guess before we head out, as this is being live streamed on my Twitch channel right now, does anybody have any want to give out any shout outs? Maybe like advertise yourselves a little bit, depending.
How many views do you have?
According to Streamlabs, only 2.
For now. But no, honestly,
For now.
anybody who's watching
Nah.
the stream, if they're not a part of this pond, more than welcome to have you guys. We try to keep it chill, and everyone is welcome.
We hate everyone. We want to see the world burn.
Why? Why are you like that?
I'm kidding. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't believe you.
I haven't made my mind up yet.
You guys want to shout out maybe your YouTube channels, Chase, Yari, depending if you guys are coming back into it again.
Yeah, I might go back to
Uh,
that.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Trico Tabloid. I'll put links to all of our socials and Twitch and YouTube's in the description of this video as well. So if you guys want to check out any Instagrams, Twitters, Twitch channels, YouTube channels, they'll be there for you to peruse at your leisure.
Ooh, definitely got to get that link then and post it as well. Like I'll wait for Chase to just upload his video and then be like, "Oh yeah, guys. So this is." I just copy and paste everybody's links and just put them.
Sorry, that's plagiarism. You know what? I'm just gonna go and request a patent for my description real quick. Patented, trademarked, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
I think
So I was just gonna say, like, hopefully, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed our little podcast thing. I know it was a little bit cringe, a little bit
That's the most.
what is it? yeah, I'm hoping everybody at least had fun listening to us.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blast talking about this stuff, and it definitely went a lot better than I thought it would. So it was a fun time, and I hope everyone enjoyed watching it.